So one thing I would love to be able to hear is what Donald Trump says behind closed doors about poor people, about people in my part of the world, people right here in Appalachia and working people all across this country. I would love to know what he honestly thinks about them when he's not out there trying to grift and exploit them and their beliefs. I've heard people that have partied with him and hung out with him say, like Howard Stern and Dave Chappelle, talk about how that he don't like poor people. So I know that he doesn't, but I would love to have that hot mic moment where I could just turn it to people in my part of the world and say, this is what he truly thinks about you. Now, not that it would probably change a whole lot of his mind, because he has such devout followers that I believe if they walked in on him holding their family at gunpoint, they would just say, well, at least he's not a Democrat. I mean, at least it's not Joe Biden. Sorry, honey. Sorry, kids. But I'm just going to leave y'all alone. Let him do whatever he wants to because, hell, at least it ain't Joe Biden. I really believe there's people that far gone. But I know one thing. I know that when Donald Trump's around his rich friends, he loves to brag about it. And I know he loves to promise them tax cuts. And on this next clip, it's great because Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders reacts to this moment where Donald Trump is laughing with his rich friends and telling them how he's going to give them tax breaks. Check this out.
Because you're all people that have a lot of money. I know 20 of you, and you're rich as hell. We're going to give you tax cuts. We're going to pay off our debt.
You know, that's everything you need to know about Donald Trump. When he thinks the cameras aren't on, he tells his rich friends, quote, we're going to give you tax cuts.
Can anybody in America imagine that at a time of massive income and wealth inequality, billionaires are doing phenomenally well, that he's going to give them huge tax breaks? And then at the same time, he's going to cut Social Security and Medicare and programs that our kids need.
This is his economic plan? That's what he wants to do? Cutting taxes for his friends? Cutting Social Security for you? That makes me mad as hell, quite frankly.
The hypocrisy is just outrageous. This is what he says to his billionaire friends, not quite what he's saying at his rallies.
There are 1,000 billionaires in America, in this country. They pay an average tax rate of 8.2% federal taxes. So I have a plan. We have a plan. Asking his good buddies to begin to pay their fair share.
You have one candidate who wants to cut Medicare and Social Security and one who's going to protect it. That's why I'm supporting Joe, and I hope you will as well.
Thanks, pal.
I'm with President Biden on this one. It makes me madder than hell, too. And it makes me madder than hell seeing someone grift and con working people in my part of the world and then sit back and laugh with his rich buddies about how he's going to give them a tax break and brag about how I know y'all are rich as hell and laugh it up. And the saddest part to me is if I showed that clip to people in my part of the world that disagrees with me, they would find a way to justify that. They would find a way to condone it. Or they'd say, well, wait a minute, Bernie and Joe Biden, they're rich people too. What about that? Well, at the end of the day, when Donald Trump is trying to cut every program that helps people, then you're voting against your own interest. Yeah, Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders make a whole lot better living than the rest of us, but at least their policies are there to help people in need. That's the massive difference. All Donald Trump does is play political theater. All he does is gets people all worked up, and all he does is gets everyone bought into this illusion that they're winning something that at the end of the day they're really not. He always cosplays. He's an entertainer. He's a showman. He's a snake oil salesman. That's really all he is. At the end of the day, all they have is a flag with his head on Rambo's body, and they think they've owned a liberal with that. Oh, I own the libs. I bet I pissed off the liberals at the lake today. No, you didn't. If I've ever been on the lake and looked over and saw a boat like that go by with his head on Rambo's shoulders, I didn't go, oh, boy, they owned us. Boy, they showed us and our ideas. Boy, they got some good ones. No, that's not what went through my head. I went, dang, there goes a chicken voting for Colonel Sanders. Dang, there goes somebody that's absolutely brainwashed completely and totally. He's got them hook, line, and sinker. That's sad. They're voting against their own interest. And we see that so much. Behind closed doors, he's laughing it up. Behind closed doors, he's laughing at you. And I just wonder if it would ever make a difference. Does anybody know? Let me know in the comments if you think it would make a difference. If we found it, if we had proof, if we had Donald Trump looking straight into a camera and saying, man, them poor stupid-ass people in Tennessee, God, them morons voted for me. Did you see them buy my shoes? And they bought a Bible, too. Yeah, I needed money to pay off a porn star. They bought it. I wonder if they actually heard it, if it would make a difference, or if they would just say, well, at least it wasn't socialism, at least it wasn't that. It's truly sad. At the end of the day, it's just truly sad that that's where we are at in this country. And it's sad that he's duped people into that, and it's going to take us years to reverse it. That's my thing. Donald Trump will lose in November, but the damage he's done to the country is going to last forever. It's going to last for the rest of our lives. We're going to be trying to reverse this because there's a whole generation growing up being taught this garbage by their parents. So we're going to be here for a while, folks. You might as well buckle up. In the words of Hunter S. Thompson, we bought the ticket. You're taking the ride now.